Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm America. Thank you so much for all your support. Today we'll be making this dress using this fabric, lace fabric and lining. This is for the front pattern. I'm cutting the upper part of the dress. I followed the fabric with the biggest measurement, which is bust measurement. The bust measurement I'm working with is 46 inches. 46 divided by 4 is 11.5 plus 4 inches seam allowance is 15.5. This is 15.5 here. I have enough. So this is starting line, and this is -5 off shoulders. You can use -4. I'll put 5 inches on this starting line. This is starting line. This is 9 inches chest line, bust line. This line is 10.5 inches. My bust point is 10 inches plus half inch seam allowance 10.5. This line is 14.5. My under bust measurement is 14 inches plus half inch seam allowance 14.5. This is 17 inches waistline and seam allowance to join it to the lower part of the dress. So I'm going to mark my bust part measurement. My bust part measurement is 9 inches. Because the fabric is folded into 2, I will divide 9 inches into 2, which is 4.5, plus half inch seam allowance to join it is at 5 inches. So I'll mark 5 inches. I'll connect it. I'm going to mark the darts. I'll mark 1 inch on both sides. 1 inch. 1 inch. At the under bust, I'll mark 1.5 inch on both sides. 1.5 on both sides. At the waistline, I'll mark 1.25 on both sides. You can mark 1 inch, it's still okay. This is bust point. I'll go up by ½ inch and come down by ½ inch. So now I'm going to connect it from this ½ inch to 1.5 at the under bust, from the under bust to 1.25 at the waistline. I'll do the same on both sides. I'll connect the dots. Here I'm going to connect it from this 1 inch to this ½ inch. So now I'm going to blend it. I marked the measurements without knowing that the camera wasn't recording, but I'll go through it again. So this is chest line, bust line. The bust measurement I'm working with is 46. 46 divided by 4 is 11.5. This is 11.5. I measured what I have here. I have 0.75. I marked it here. 11.5, 0.75, and 3 inches seam allowance. The waist measurement I'm working with is 40 inches. 40 divided by 4 is 10 inches. So this is 10 inches. Plus this dart that I'm going to cut off here. I have 2.5 inches here. I have 3 inches here. So I'm going to use 3 inches. 3 inches plus 3 inches seam allowance. When I finish, I'll cut off the seam allowance that I don't need. So I'll connect the line. I'm going to mark the neck width. I normally use what I use for off shoulders neck width for it. I'll use 6.5 inches, and depending on how wide you want it. So I'm going to mark 6.5 inches. You can use 5 inches, 5.5, 6 inches, depending on how wide you want the neck width. So I'm going to use 6.5 inches. So 6.5 inches plus this 2 inches is 8.5. 8.5 plus half inch to join it to the sleeve is 9 inches, and 1 inch to join this part is 10 inches. So I'm going to mark 10 inches on this line. So this is 10 inches. I'll connect the neck width. From this 10 inches neck width, I connected it to the chest line, normal armhole, not off shoulders armhole. So now I'm going to cut it. I'll trim this off, the starting line. This is what I have. I will use it to cut out the main fabric. I will also cut out another lining. So this front one, if you like, you can leave it the way it is. Or this center one, you can make it sweetheart neckline. I'll come down by 2 inches or 1.5. I'll come down by 2 inches. I'll curve it, sweetheart neckline. I will trim it. This is for the back pattern. This is starting line. This line is zip allowance 1.5 inches, minus 5 off shoulders, 5 inches on the starting line, 9 inches chest line, bust line, where I'll put my bust measurement. From bust line I came down by 1 inch for that, 17 inches half length. So now I'm going to mark my bust palm measurement. My measurement will start from this line. This is zip allowance. My bust measurement will start from this line. My bust palm measurement is 9 inches, divided by 2 is 4.5. I'll mark 4.5 here. I'll connect the line. I'll mark half inch on both sides and connect it to this point. Okay, now I'm going to mark the neck width. So I marked 6.5 inches on the front pattern, so I'm going to use 6.5 inches because front neck width and back neck width must be the same. So I'll mark 6.5 plus half inch to join it to the sleeve is 7 inches. So from this line I'll mark 7 inches. I'm going to mark the measurement. Quarter of my bust measurement is, I'll mark quarter of my bust measurement plus 2 inches seam allowance, 13 and a half. Quarter of my waist measurement, 10 inches, plus 1 inch for that and 2 inches seam allowance, 3 inches. I'll connect it. So from this neck width, I'll connect it to the chest line. So I'm going to cut it. This is seam allowance to join it to the dress, to lower part of the dress. This is what I have. I'll use it to cut out the main fabric and another lining. This is for the lower part of the dress. So to get the length, the lower part of the dress, to get the length, you will minus the upper part of the dress from the full length of the dress. The upper part is 17 inches. The full length of the dress is 58 inches. 17 minus 58 is 41. So what I'm going to cut here is 41 plus half inch seam allowance to join it to the upper part is 41.5 inches. So from this line to the end is 41.5 inches. This lower part, I folded it with my hip measurement. Because it will have a line at the lower part, I added extra 6 inches for a line allowance. The back one is 1.5 inches bigger because of zip allowance. This is zip allowance. This is the front one. Starting here, this is the back one. So my hip measurement is 46. 46 divided by 4 is 11.5. My measurement will start from the front part. 11.5 plus 6 inches is 17.5. 17.5 because of the A-line allowance. So now this is the waistline. I'll mark quarter of my waist measurement, which is 10 inches plus 2 inches seam allowance. To mark the hip measurement, I'll use 8.5. Quarter of my hip measurement is 11.5 plus 2 inches seam allowance, 13.5. From my waistline to my knee measurement is 18 inches, but I'm going to use 18.5 because I'll need seam allowance to join it to the upper part. So here I'll minus 1 inch from my hip measurement. I marked 13.5 here, I'll mark 12.5 here. So from here I'll connect it to the lower part. I've cut it. it to cut out my lining, but my lining will be 2 inches shorter. So this is the back one. I'm cutting it into 2 for zip. I'll use it to cut my lining, but my lining will be 2 inches shorter than the main fabric. This is for the front. I'll use it to cut the lining also. This is for the back. I've cut out the lining. I'll stitch this lining to the lace fabric. This is lining for it. I'll sew that on the lining. On the main fabric, I measured quarter of my waist measurement plus 2 inches seam allowance. On the lining, I measured quarter of my waist measurement plus 3 inches seam allowance because I'll sew that on the lining. For the back one, this is for the front. I'll stitch this lining to the lace fabric. Note that on the main fabric, I measured quarter of my waist measurement plus 2 inches seam allowance on the main fabric. This is lining for the front one. I measured quarter of my waist measurement plus 3 inches seam allowance because I'll sew that to it. So I'm going to sew that to the lining. I've cut out the lining. I have interfacing on this lining, lace fabric, lining and wadding. So I'm going to join it together. I will join the lining together also. This is for the back. Lace and lining. I will stitch this lining to the lace. Then I will sew my darts. This is the lining. I will sew the darts. This is for the back, one side. I stitched the lace fabric on the lining only on the waistline. I wanted to stitch it on both sides, but I couldn't because of time. This is the upper part. I've sewn the dart. So I'll put it this way, right side facing each other. I will join them together. I will do the same on the other side. This is for the front, the lower part. This is for the front, the lower part. I stitch lining and the main fabric on the waistline here. But if you want, you can stitch on both sides. But when I'll take the measurement, I'll use pin to hold it. When I'll shape it, I'll use pin to hold it properly. So this is the upper part. So I'll put it this way, right side facing each other to join the upper part and the lower part together. Front. This is the front lining, the main lining for the dress. I joined the three. This is the upper part. This is the main lining for the dress. The upper part, I joined the upper part together after that, and also sew that on the lower part. After that, I put them together right side facing each other and join them together. This is one side of the back one. I sew that on both upper part and the lower part. After that, I put it this way, right side facing each other and join them together. I did the same on the other side. The other side. This is the other side of the back one. What I'll do next is to join them together. This is center back. I have notch here for my zip allowance, 1.5 inches, but I can use 1 inch. I will measure where my zip, the length of the zip. I will measure the length of the zip that I want to use. From upper part here, I'll sew gather stitches to the length of the zip. I'll lock the stitches and sew normal stitches to the end. I'll do the same on the main fabric. So I've joined them together. I also press it. What I'll do next is to join the front and the back one together. I'll do the same on the main fabric. This is the front part. Right side. I want to shape the dress. What you need to shape your dress is half of your measurement. Half of your bust measurement, half of your waist measurement, half of your hip measurement. On the knee line here, your hip measurement minus 6 inches or 4 inches, depending on what you want. So remember, it's minus 5 off shoulders. This is 17 inches. My waistline, my hip line is 25 inches. Large, extra large is 25 inches. 35 inches my knee length. So the measurement that I will use for my knee length is my hip measurement minus 6. My hip measurement minus 6, 46 minus 6 is 40. So what I'll use here is 40 inches. So I'll go and shape the dress. I'll do the same on the main fabric. I've shaped the dress. I did the same on the main fabric also. I remove stones only on the places that I've sewn. What I'll do next is to remove the gather stitches to fix zip only on the main fabric. After that, I'll remove the gather stitches only also on the lining. So after that, I'll join lining and the main fabric together on the neckline. I've removed the gather stitches to fix the zip also on the main fabric. So what I'll do next is to fix zip on the main fabric. After that, I'll put this inside. This is right side of the main fabric is inside, and this is right side of the lining. So I'll put this inside, right side together. So I'll match it together, the neckline, the front neckline, back neckline, and stitch the neckline. If you don't want to fix your zip the way I want to fix mine, what you do is to open the center back. This is where I'll fix my zip. You will open the center back line to the end, and you will do the same on the lining. So after that, you put this right side facing each other. This is right side, match the neckline and stitch the neckline, lining and the main fabrics, join them together at the neckline, notch and top stitch. After that, on this side, you hold it this way and use half inch seam allowance to sew it to the end. You will do the same on this side. Then after that, you will now put it this way, mark the length of your zip and stitch the remaining one back to the end and fix your zip. I fix it to the main fabric. After that, I join lining and the main fabric together at the neckline. I notch and top stitch. I also fix the lining to the zip and the main fabric. So what I'll do next is to fix the sleeve. After that, I'll give it a good press. This is the way I cut the sleeve. This is the length of the sleeve, long sleeve, basic sleeve. I added 6 inches. I added 6 inches to pleat or gather on the upper part of the sleeve. So this is the sleeve that I'm going to use. I'm going to fix the sleeve. This is the dress. the zip. Remember to go in by 1/2 inch on your waistline when you're fixing your zip. You will notch your knee line. Both lining and the main fabric, both sides. So now I'm going to fix the sleeve. So this neck width, you don't really need this neck width, you don't need round shoulder measurement because this dress is kind of shoulder dress. Because the sleeve will be on the shoulder. So I use French seam to tidy up this side. So you will pin it to this point and also on this side. Then you will use gather stitches you will sew gather stitches on the remaining one so that you will gather it. After that, you will use this to tidy up. You can use the lining on the main fabric, but I'll use this. I'll use the main fabric to tidy up because I don't like this lining. 2 inches. You will use it to tidy up the upper part. After fixing the sleeve, it will be like this. I'll go and fix the sleeve and show you. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.